Okay guys, we got our 2005 Scion XB back with some brand new shoes on it. They're Coopers. I had to go with the same size. I was wanting to go just one size taller to try to make it ride better, but they was rubbing just a little bit in the front when you cut the wheel deep, so I just kept it the same size. Now keep in mind this car is really dirty, so but I really like them so far. The missus drove it home. Cooper tires. I've had Coopers before. They're really good tires. I always try to keep her car in good shape, even though it needs washed again, but try to keep it in good shape. But it took us forever to get these 4 tires. I ordered these last week, and it's took almost a week.
It had to do with the hurricane.
What?
It had to do with Hurricane Laura or something?
Oh, yeah. They said it had to do with Hurricane Laura. So, I don't know. Anyway, we got 2 of them in 2 days ago, and then I finally got the other 2 to have a matching set of Coopers. But I was trying to get them because they had a rebate going on, and I was trying to take advantage of the rebate. So, I just barely made it on the rebate by, was today the last day for it? Anyway, it don't matter. Yesterday. Anyway, we went ahead and paid for the tires because I was wanting to take advantage of the rebate. So now I have these. I'm going to sell these tires. These are good tires. They're Continental. 205, 45, 17. They're ZR rated. Really good tires, and they got a lot of life left in them. Actually, if I'd have probably looked at them a little bit closer, I probably would have just kept running them, but I always try to keep her car in good shape. So I'm going to sell these, or somebody I know will want them. Anyway, here's what I've been doing. It's been a busy day, non-stop, running back and forth. Okay, yesterday I was at Co-op checking on my tires because they're supposed to have come in yesterday, but they didn't. Anyway, so Mrs. PIB was sitting there and the AC was on. She's sitting in the truck, and I was filming, making a YouTube video on the 2001 Chevy Blazer. I'm going to post it on Chevy Trucks. Chevy Trucks, 2 words. I have 2 YouTube channels, Property's Best and Chevy Trucks. I'm going to post it on Chevy Trucks. Anyway, she was sitting in the car with the AC on, and I was making a YouTube video real quick for it's my buddy's S10 Blazer. Anyway, the AC quit working, and so she got out of the car, and I asked her, I said, well, why did you get out of the truck, rather? I said, why'd you get out of the truck? And she said, well, the AC quit blowing. So she said, I didn't know what was going on, so I checked it, and the fan quit working. It quit circulating the air, so it was getting quite warm. So, and it was a hot day yesterday, my goodness. So anyway, this is what I've got into, and I'm just going to do this quickly as I can so I don't bore you to death. But I went and got this thing. I just call it a regulator. I forget you could ask me 5 minutes from now and I could probably tell you exactly what resistor. Anyway, I got a new resistor because I watched a bunch of YouTube videos on what my problem might be, and thought it was this, but it wouldn't. So I called my friend Brian, who is GM Space Tim 38, and asked him, because he used to own the truck, and he said he's fixed a lot of these, and a lot of times it's the wires. Well, I already had this bought, a new one. I've got a new one on it right now. This is the one I took out, and I'm going to save it because there's nothing wrong with it. So save it, put it back in the box. This truck has got like almost 200,000 on it. It's got 195,000. So I thought with all the miles, with the fan motor and everything, I thought I'm already in it. I might as well just try to fix it. So went and got a new fan motor, and this is the original fan motor out of it, and it spins freely. So I thought, well, what in the world? Because I was expecting it to be stuck. You know how things do sometimes. So went and got a new fan motor. I got all this at one trip. I would rather get, I got two different fan motors because GM made two different ones. The one this one has is one with the tab. They have some, it's got screws that hold it in place. But mine's the one with the tab. So I finally got that silly thing off, the tab anyway. So I got another one here, brand new in the box. And actually, I think the old one spins better. But anyway, so now I discovered after messing with the wires, here's my point. One of the pigtail wires has been burnt up, which means it wasn't making a good connection, which means it got hot and it melted the plastic. But I'll tell you something, when I was driving down the road, going to the co-op, we stopped at a red light and I smelled something, but I thought there was a big transfer truck in front of us, and I thought, well, it's something from that transfer truck. You know how you get to thinking, no, it's not me, it's somebody else? Well, it was me. So anyway, I told the missus, you know, when you have problems like this, you try to look at the good things, which means I could have been on the interstate or in another state or, you know, or someplace, you know, but I was right here in my own hometown. So, I mean, it could have been much worse, and the truck kept running like a top, you know. It's just, we just put the windows down. But anyway, my point is it could have been much worse, and it could have even led to a fire. So anyway, I've ordered a new, I've got to have this piece because it plugs into, I got two plugs. I'll try to show you. This one plugs into this one here, so I've got to have this plug. So instead of me, I was talking to a couple of my friends that's smarter than I am, one of them being Brian, the other one Tim Dixon. So I was showing Tim on his lunch break what I had going on, and I told him, I said, I just don't have any of these little connector things. And he said, well, he said, you can probably get them at the store, but I thought he might have some. Anyway, make a long story short, he said every time you cut the wire and splice it together, you kind of lose ohms. And so I just went ahead, I didn't know you could do this, but I ordered a brand new pigtail thing from our local parts store that I go to all the time. We're in there so much, the girl that works in there, we got tickled, and she said, you're in here more than I am, and she works there, so that says a lot. I hope they don't get tired of us, but I try to do everything one trip, but anyway, it's pretty sad when employee says you're here more than I am. So I don't know. Hopefully they don't dread seeing us because I feel like they're my friends. But anyway, this is the one I've got, the one with the tab. And I was just going to show you what we have been doing all day. Just playing around with this stuff right here. And my pigtail will be in tomorrow. But if you ever get into this stuff, I tell you what I've learned. I learned a lot of stuff on YouTube, but this is a 07 Silverado. It's got 4 screws holding up this piece here that goes up and under the dash. Trying to get my finger out of the way. Anyway, there's 4 screws that hold all this up, a cover. So anyway, I took 3 of them down because this is all the room that I needed, and I swapped. There's 2 bolts. Get a flashlight and I'll show you. There's 2 bolts, one here, of course, one on the other side. I've already got this one connected up, so I gotta splice into this. Oh, I'm sorry. When I get my pigtail, it'll go right in there, and I'll connect it to the blower motor, and we should be good to go. Just shouldn't take very long, but you know how things go sometimes. But my point is the problem that happened to the wire. Oh, let me get myself up. The problem with the wire is it got corroded. It's all corroded. So I have bought some of that, what's that stuff that we bought that I, for the, for electrical stuff? What?
Are you paused?
No, hang on just a minute. Okay, guys, we misplaced it. So we got this stuff right here. It's a dielectric connector protector. It's some kind of like grease stuff that you put in terminals, like what happened here. If it had it on it, it probably wouldn't have got corroded, which means I wouldn't be doing this video today because my blower would be working. So anyway, this time I'm going to put all this stuff in here. Now this truck's always been in the south, so I don't know how it got so corroded. I'm sorry. It's been a long day, and I'm thinking maybe because of the AC or something. I'm not sure, but everything else, you know, looks good. It just does, just this pigtail. So that pigtail is about $34, $35, give or take, but it don't matter because I need it. So I guess I'll pause this, or I'll just stop this video here, and I'll let my wife edit it all back together. Boy, I'm glad I seen that. Don't need my flashlight on all night. Anyway, I'll let her piece all this video together. Hopefully tomorrow, by around lunch, 12 o'clock or so, that little pigtail thing will come in. I can put all this stuff back together and be done. But it's a learning curve for me, so it takes me longer to do anything because I mean, I've never done it before, so it's all new to me. And I do a whole lot of, where'd I set this at thing? So where's this at? And stuff. So that's how I am. So anyway, appreciate you watching this much of the video. Stay tuned for the ending of it. And hopefully I'll be turning this truck on with the ignition key, turning on the fan motor soon, and it will be blowing cold again. Gotta have it because wintertime's coming. I need to heat and defrost too. So good thing to have. So I told my wife, that's another thing. I said, trying to look on the positive side, it could have been, you know, middle of winter and you really needed heat, or you really needed defrost or something. You need your blower motor to work. So, but I think I'm going to save my blower motor and this other little resistor thing here that goes up under there I was showing you earlier. I'm going to save that, and I guess I'll keep this much anyway in the truck with me just in case the new one. Sometimes newer things don't work as good as older things. So anyway, I'll stop right here and I'll get back with you in a few minutes. Well, probably the next day. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, guys, I got my, well, here it is. Got my pigtail. I'm calling it pigtail. Extension, wire extension, whatever you want to call it. Plug. Sorry, I didn't mean to shake the camera like that. But I got this at local parts store, and I saved a few bucks because they had this on eBay, one of these, and it was going to be like 5 days or 6 days before I could even get it. So we used the part number that they provided on eBay and went to the parts store, and they ordered it, and I got it the next day. So this is the next day. So now I'm going to attempt to mount this fan motor and connect all this up, and we'll see if it works. So hang on. Okay, guys, I got my motor up in there. It's the tab type, if you'll remember, and I put it up in there and twist it. So I finally got it up in there, and then Mrs. PIB reminded me that I forgot to put that grease in. So I had to unplug it from behind. So I'm going to plug it back up and make sure that the fan blower motor is working and I'm getting cold air again. So hang on for just a minute. Okay, it's working. I thought I would check it before I buttoned all this stuff back up. As you can see, it's working pretty good. So I'm real proud of that. And, you know, as I said, all I really needed was this I'm calling it pigtail, but it just wiring connectors. It just got, I think if they'd have put grease in it to begin with, I don't think I'd have ever had this problem. And I wouldn't have been making this video today because this just dry as a bone. That grease stuff is, like Mrs. PIB told me, is to keep moisture and heat. And when you disconnect it, it makes it a lot easier to disconnect from the blower motor and stuff. So I guess it just got too hot and started melting. So I'm just glad we didn't have a fire or anything like that. So, oh yeah, this is that part number I was telling you about. In case you ever need to order one of these pigtail wires, that's the number. Which is it, the second one or the first one? I think it's the first one.
You just give the auto parts store, they can reference it.
Yeah, well, just write all these numbers down and they can reference it at the auto parts store. Oh, you can turn it off now. That's cold, ain't it? Feels pretty good, doesn't it? Anyway, if you ever have this problem, instead of doing like I done where you're replacing everything, you know, the blower motor and all that, which it, you know, like I said, this truck's got almost 200,000 miles on it. So, and there's no telling how many times that this little motor right here has made a revolution trying to keep heat and air going. So I'm going to keep it. It's a good one. And I'm going to write on the box what it is instead of just putting it in a box and not labeling stuff, because I'm pretty bad about that. Actually, I'm real bad about it. But oh yeah, and I'm going to keep this too. This is the original. A lot of people on YouTube said this was, well, after watching several YouTube videos, said this was my problem. It wasn't the problem. It was that stupid pigtail wire. So anyway, I'm going to, what is it?
They say to replace it anyway.
Oh, they said to replace it anyway. And what I was told, and the guy that at the auto parts store, and also I asked him, Dixon, too. And of course, Brian at GM Space Tim 38. I called everybody I could for a reference just to make sure I wasn't doing something I shouldn't be. But normally, you know, like the guy at the auto parts store told me, and he's a good friend of mine, he said, once you replace one, you might as well replace them both. If you're done in there, just go ahead and do it. So that's what I done. And that's what that's that part number.
For AutoZone.
For AutoZone, yeah.
Duralast.
Yeah, Duralast. So, but I'm keeping all my old parts. There's nothing wrong with them. And just in case I get somewhere, I know how to do it, as long as I got the tools. So I'm going to button this all back up, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, guys, I finally got this plastic piece up here that covers the resistor and the fan blower motor, all that stuff. These are the tools I wound up using a mirror to try to see what I was doing up behind, using a flashlight to shine in it. So kind of come in handy there at times. Anyway, I'll let you start it up one more time since I've got it. Let's make sure it works. Oh.
That's hot.
You got to give it a minute. Now it's going.
Oh, that's good.
I didn't.
Now it's hurricane now. It was on feet.
I didn't put it on feet.
I didn't put it on feet.
You put it on feet.
I did not.
I'm worried about. Trust me, she put it on
I
feet.
did not put it on feet.
Well, turn that off, please. Yeah, pull that key out too. I don't want to hear that ding, ding, ding.
Oh, I didn't
Please.
hear it.
Anyway, she had it on feet. Anyway, so I'm going to put all this stuff up. I just thought I'd show you what I was doing. It took me a couple of days, all because I was waiting on parts. But I hope this was helpful to you if you have to order one of these. As you know, I gave you the number that you can take right to your auto parts store. They can look up that number and it'll point you right to this wire. And I have to thank Brian, who is GM Space Tim 38. He's the one that sent the link to Mrs. PIB, and that was on eBay, and it had the number on it. So you can get this at your local auto parts store if this is what you need. And you know, you won't have to search through the books and all that other stuff trying to find one. How much was this again? About $35.
Something like that.
It's around $35, but well worth it. And with the grease that we bought too, that electrical grease stuff that you put in here, I'm hoping I'll never have this problem again. I hope. But just in case, I'm going to keep all my parts and all the numbers and this, that, and other, because this stuff here's still good. The problem was this stupid wire. So I bought a bunch of stuff, I guess maybe for nothing, but I guess since I already had all this stuff down, I guess it was just good to replace it all while you're in it. But I'll tell you what, if I had to pick one of the hardest jobs though, it's putting this stupid plastic piece back up. I was praying and finally got it up there. Wife and I said a prayer both together, and next time I tried it, it went right in. So I was proud of that. So it all worked out good. Lord's good to me. So, okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. I didn't mean to make it long and boring, but sometimes that's what happens when you're doing a kind of like a boring job. And I've never done this before, none of this before. This is all new to me. So thanks to Mrs. PIB, who has a better brain than I do, and she kind of helped me figure some of this stuff out too. So it all worked out good. Hope you enjoyed the video. As I said, I had 2 channels, Primered is Best, and I have another channel I just recently started called Chevy Trucks. I sure do hope that you will subscribe to both. I sure would appreciate it. Leave me a comment. Let me know that you're on board with us. And I want to thank all the faithful subscribers that watch my videos. I know some of them's not the best, and this is a small channel, so to have any subscribers at all that listens or watches anything I do, to me is simply amazing. So anyway, appreciate it. I hope y'all's having a great day. I hope y'all stay safe, and I thank you for watching, and God bless each and every one of you. I'll see you later.